So program design, I think.
Hey, you got a minute?
Yeah.
Today we're talking about protocols. I gotta tell you, protocols have saved my life. And let me tell you why. Number one, they're a very effective way for building groups. And when you have to hold meetings and you don't have, the energy at a school site, you're operating under such tight time constraints. They're at a very efficient use of time and energy. The other thing, it's a great way for you to get information and data from your people and voice. So I love protocols. So Steph, can you tell us how we would set these all up and use them?
Well, the first question you have to ask yourself is, why are you using protocols? Are you using it to collect data? Do you want input from your people? Do you want them to make a decision? Depending on the answer to that question will depend on which protocol you're going to use.
Makes sense. What if you've got a hot button or a high emotional?
That's another thing. If you have an emotional topic or one that's highly intellectual, you're also going to want to change the protocol.
Got it.
And the other thing you're going to ask yourself, third question I think, is going to be, so do my people work well together? If they don't work well together, you're going to use a different kind.
Makes sense.
There are really two different kinds. One are kind of loose protocols. If you have a very collaborative culture, if it's not a very emotional culture, you just want input, you're going to use what's called a loose protocol. That is, there's a lot more freedom. But if it's highly emotional, if it's highly intellectual, and your people don't work well together, you want a more structured or tight protocol. You're actually going to be looking at sort of the
Culture of your group, culture of your school.
You're actually going to be looking at three different things. One is, why am I getting the data? Why am I using a protocol? What's the culture of my school? And what kind of data do I want? Is it emotional, intellectual? Once you decide on those things, what you're going to do is then you're going to go to a resource books. And there are a lot of resource books out there. There's the Adaptive Schools, Coalition of Essential Schools, even trade books. And you're going to go through the many hundreds of protocols and decide which one will most fit and answer the question is, what data do I want? Why do I want the data? And what are the effects? Is it emotional, highly intellectual? Is it something that's just low key? Those three questions are going to help you decide which protocol you want.
Makes perfect sense, and I feel so much better, so I can strategically choose a protocol that will work for things.
There's a lot out there. Make sure you choose the right one.
And that was a minute.